My name is Taylor, and I'm a co-owner and senior manager of marketing at PixelSpoke. I learned about HomeSight while I was on the website of Verity Credit Union. I was visiting their community impact page, and I was actually actively looking for an organization that PixelSpoke could support in 2023. We donate 10% of our annual profits to organizations that are promoting financial wellness and a cooperative economy. And HomeSight just checked all the boxes for us, and we really aligned with its mission. Affordable housing is a huge issue here in Portland, Oregon, where many of us are based. Felt like it offered a really unique solution to a pressing social problem. Our goals at PixelSpoke for philanthropic giving are twofold. Number one, we want to promote credit unions as a force for good, especially when it comes to financial wellness and inclusion. And number two, we want to be an active force in building a cooperative economy. We are actually a worker-owned cooperative ourselves, and we design websites for credit unions, which are member-owned cooperatives, and we really believe in the power of a solidarity economy, cooperative economy, inclusive economy. So when I learned about HomeSight's Othello Square project, I felt like it checked all the boxes for everything we were looking for in a philanthropic cause. One, it was trying to really meaningfully move the needle on affordable housing, which is a huge issue across the country. I know in Seattle, also in my hometown of Portland, Oregon. But two, it wasn't just about building housing units, but it was about giving people access to ownership through a cooperative housing model, which is incredibly unique and potentially very powerful. And number three, it recognized that people need access to other services besides housing, and a lot of these are similarly inaccessible, for instance, childcare or secondary education or financial services. So the combination of those three factors I found incredibly unique and incredibly empowering. I wish that people could understand how fundamental housing is to somebody's financial, emotional, and mental well-being. My husband actually moved 11 times when he was a child and went to 11 different schools between kindergarten and the end of high school. He was raised by a single mother. They were not financially stable. That kind of childhood is just completely different from the kind we're trying to provide to our kids, because we were able to buy a home and we've been able to stay in it for a number of years. It's also an issue that is becoming increasingly fraught. I know I have a 25-year-old stepson who is facing astronomical rent prices, doesn't feel like he's ever going to be able to afford to buy his own home. And we really need to think outside of the box to address this fundamental issue. As far as our partnership goes, I am not entirely sure what the future holds, but we would absolutely love it to be just more than transactional. HomeSight as a nonprofit needs funding, and I definitely am proud that our organization is a part of that. But I also hope that we can just keep a dialogue going. I would absolutely love to see a similar project as Othello Square take place here in my hometown of Portland, Oregon, or also inspire other credit unions across the country to perhaps participate or put into motion projects like this. So mostly I hope to keep learning from HomeSight and see how your various projects develop, and just really see if there are other ways to support beyond funding. So for anyone who has a passion for affordable housing, I would absolutely point them to HomeSight just as an example of a nonprofit that is approaching the issue in a really creative and out-of-the-box way. There are lots of really great organizations that are focused on these issues, but I feel like HomeSight's solution is potentially transformative, and it can really get to the root of the problem rather than band-aid solutions that in some ways might end up perpetuating the problem over time. For anyone interested in affordable housing, I have already sent many people to the HomeSight website, and I will continue to do so to just see an example of a project that takes a really different approach. If anyone's interested in getting involved, I think an obvious first step would be to make a donation. It's funding that directly supports a very worthy cause. Secondly, one thing we're doing here at PixelSpoke is simply trying to raise awareness around HomeSight's incredible work.